runners to name just one, and it was former champs galore, including EPT4 San Remo winner Jason Mercier. And of course, plenty of gorgeous gals to boot. San Remo is always a hit.
Blind still 20 and 40,000. We're going to do something a bit special now at our feature table. We're going to sweat with Alan and only see Mr. Backer's hole cards. So, William, you have to play the hand from Alan's perspective and try and put his opponents on a range of hands.
Okay, we'll see how well I can do that.
So, raise from Backer with the ace-10. A little over a min raise. He's going to get action from the Romanian Ramon Cesare.
Cesare's starting the hand with almost 50 big blinds here, and he's in the cutoff facing Alan's early position raise. And he calls. Okay, Cesare, arranged for this. I'd put him some type of mid pair and anywhere from like 6s to pocket 10s and a lot of suited paint hands. I would expect the suited connectors to be out of his game at this point, only stronger value hands.
Are either of the blinds going to get involved? Tanduk winning the small, he passes. Jakob Karlsson in the big, he lets it go. So we are heads up to the flop.
Okay, heads up, Cesare with position, Backer with the chip lead.
10 high flop, but all clubs. Should Backer bet this?
He flopped top. If he checks, he's risking it getting checked back, and there's a lot of scare cards, but he does decide to do that, and here we'll see the turn if one of those scare cards comes out.
Now 3 cards to a straight. And certainly a hand like King-Queen, or a hand like Jack-10 even, could be in the Romanian's range.
You could have a lot of those paint hands, and he puts out a quick bet. 120,000, half pot again. Now if Alan makes his call, he has to dodge a lot of river cards.
Well, he makes the call. Let's see what comes on the river. It's another jack.
Okay, pairs the jack. Doesn't really change much. And with 500,000 in the pot, he checks it to Cesare again.
Has Alan gone into check call mode? Depends what the river bet is, I guess. Nearly 500,000 in the middle, and he makes it 185,000.
He puts out a little teaser bet. Now, Alan has the top of his range here with the ace-10, and he's getting good odds.
But it's a bet that looks like it's just aching to be called, right? He makes the call.
And Cesare flips over.
King-Queen.
Straight, 9 to king. You know, he extracted about as much value as he could out of that. If he bet any larger, Alan may have been timid and mucked his cards, but half pot gets the call.
And in terms of reading the Romanian's hand, William, I'm going to give you 9 out of 10 for that one.
All right, spot on.
Let's check in on one of the outer tables. A sizable pot being shipped over to the Finnish player Tony Pettersson. Not only does he get a lot of chips there, he's getting an admiring glance from Liv Barry. Still 3 tables remain. We are playing down to our final 8. Eventually we'll play down to a winner. Will be crowned champion of San Remo and will receive 1.25 million euros. Blinds are up, by the way. We're now playing 25-50,000. And Eric Tam has suited 1 gappers. The 8-10 of clubs, he makes it 125k. And Paul Berenda, very short stack, moves all in for his last 145,000 with King-Queen of diamonds.
Now, Cesare, there's already a raise and a small all-in. He knows his ace-10 is going to play well versus the chip leaders open and a short stack all-in. Yep, and he's really thinking about it. He might be isolating Berenda here.
Re-raise. Ramon, re-raise to 300,000.
So now the bet is 300 straight. Looks like Reben has a bit of a decision on the button, but he decides to let it go. Blinds fold. Eric Tam, the original raiser. What do you think about his raise with 10-8, knowing that he's got a super short stack behind him?
I think it's fine. He's the chip leader, and he only has one short stack to worry about, and 10-8 suited's going to play well enough. We're talking under 6 big blinds from Berenda's all-in, so nothing for him to squint about. And Cesare made a great isolation there to get Berenda heads up.
And crucially, the Dutchman is not that far behind. Well, he is now.
Suited in diamonds again. Too bad it wasn't hearts.
Oh, he spikes a king.
And we get a smile out of him.
Say ace on the river?
Don't call for it.
And he rivers a 2-pair. He improves.
I have ace-10.
Good fault.
I have ace-10.
Thanks for isolating.
Double up.
Triple up.
Okay, Berenda's back in the saddle here. He should have over 10 big blinds.
We don't want to lose good player.
Now it's even money for the last longer bet.
Side betting?
Last longers?
No one told me that kind of thing goes on in poker.
I got 520 now, if you want to know.
Well, Berenda is still the short stack at this feature table. Alan Bakker, by the way, now third in chips here, behind Carlsen and Tam. So looking good for the Swedes at this feature table. Will be the Romanian player, Ramon Cesare, to act here with ace-10 offsuit. Looks like we're going to see a raise, William.
All right, Cesare throwing some chips in. Bumps it up to 120.
Tanduk win another short stack, but not really getting many hands at the moment.
And it's folded around to the big blind with Bakker.
And he's made the call with Jack-10 off.
He's going to see a flop.
So a Jack-high club draw for Bakker, the 10-high club draw for Cesare.
No one hitting a pair here, but they both have mid-flush draws.
Bakker leads out.
I like this lead a lot. It's hard for Cesare to play back if he doesn't have any type of big club or a king. And Bakker has equity in his hand with the Jack of clubs.
Well, Cesare decides to make the call. Could get expensive for him if a club comes on the turn. Instead, it's a 9. So Bakker now has the open-ended straight draw to go with his club draw. Just ace high for Cesare. If you're Bakker, do you bet again, William?
When you pick up the open-ended straight draw with the jack-high flush draw and you took the initiative on the flop, let's keep barreling.
And that's what he does, 225,000.
Another half-pot bet. Half-pot is the thing to do at this table.
What's going through Cesare's mind? Is he chasing clubs? Is he calling here because he thinks ace-high could be good?
Cesare's probably chasing clubs. You won't see many players double-barrel these boards after they've been called on the flop without some type of a hand. So I doubt he thinks his ace-high has much showdown value at this point.
He's called the flop, he's called the turn. The river does not bring a club. It changes nothing, which means that ace high is actually good.
Now Backer faced with the decision here. He's led. He's thinking, can I get Cesare off of weak pair?
He thinks he can. The third barrel is fired.
He triple barreled this with the lead, and again, it's right around half pot.
And if you think Cesare was chasing the clubs here and doesn't think that ace high has much showdown value, he kind of has to pass here.
It's going to be really hard to call at this point. A lot of hands that Becker could be bluffing with could be a pair, and a pair is better than an ace high, so he could be bluffing with a better hand, and here he goes, he mucks it.
Backer wins a pot with nearly 1.5 million in it, getting his stack back up above the 3 million mark and keeping those dreams alive of becoming the first ever player to win 2 EPT titles.
We're down to 19 here at EPT San Remo, and these are the top 8 in chips. Previous EPT champ Alan Backer is looking strong, but the front runner right now is Team UK. Liv Barry and her university pal Michael Piper are sitting top of the table.
There is chip leader Michael Piper. How weird, William, that he's at university at the same time as Liv Barry. They're doing the same course, exactly the same years, and here they are in the same tournament in the last 19.
Coincidences happen, and this is quite the coincidence.
Meanwhile, we lose Eric Tam from our feature table. He's going to join Michael Piper's table. We have to keep the action balanced. And we are going to do something exciting again. We sweated with Alan Backer earlier on. Now we're going to sweat with another former EPT champion, Tander Wim. We're only going to see his hole cards. The action has been folded around to the button.
Pressure's on this time. My grade last round was a 9 out of 10. I have to keep the good grades up.
Well, good luck putting Ruben on a hand. It's been folded to him in the small blind, and he just limps.